Good morning, students. Today I am here to explain to you chapter 3. But before I go to chapter 3, I'd like to take a little bit of revision of what I've taught you in the first chapter. That is chapter 2. Chapter 2, we have done atmosphere. Now, the highlight of this chapter is, what is the atmosphere? What is the composition of the atmosphere? The structure of the atmosphere and the significance of the atmosphere. So now I'm going to revise with you chapter atmosphere, so that if you have any doubts, the doubt may be cleared. Now, what you must understand is, in your geography copies, notebooks, or note copies where you have your written work, I would like you all to answer all the exercises that are at the end of each chapter that we are going to cover in our first term. That means chapter 2, all the exercises and the selected questions that I have given you. Same with chapter 3. Now, before I begin my class, I would like you to reflect and try to imagine how the world was some thousands of years ago. Our Earth was a beautiful planet. Our Earth is the only planet in the solar system that supports life. It has, why? The reasons are, it has land, water and air. Together with this, life is possible. These are the realms or a group of realms of the earth. Now, remember, I told you that our Earth, not that I told you, it is a fact. Our Earth is a unique planet. It is the only planet in the solar system that supports life. And the reason being why, it is the only planet that has air, land and water. This supports life, and this is biosphere. Now, to go by the geographical terms of these air, land and water, I would like you to be aware of this fact. We are doing atmosphere, so air actually belongs to the sphere of atmosphere. This is, land is lithosphere and water is hydrosphere. So together with these spheres, we have biosphere where life exists. Life is not possible with any one of these spheres. We need all three of them. And so our Earth is unique, different from all the other planets. Have any of you seen on TV the wildlife of Africa, the Amazon? It's really wonderful. It reminds me of a time, some thousands of years ago, how beautiful our Earth was. That is the time when nature and man made components were friendly, eco-friendly. Now, what has happened to our beautiful Earth? The beautiful Earth that we had some thousands of years ago. is now the big concern for the whole world. Why? Because of global warming. Man has not been very friendly with nature. So, the fact is, he has spoiled the balance between the planet Earth, the air, and the lithosphere. So really speaking, actually, man has not been very friendly with atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere. But since we are doing since we are doing atmosphere, I like to stress on all the topics that I want you to know about atmosphere. Oh, first question, this highlights what is atmosphere. So what is atmosphere? What would you say that what is atmosphere? Okay, atmosphere is a blanket of air surrounding the earth. All right? Now, what about the blanket of air surrounding the earth? What is the air? The air is a mixture of gases. And now I'm going to explain to you also the composition of the atmosphere. What are the gases and what is the percentage there? And then the next point I'm going to teach you about is the structure of the atmosphere, which tells you our atmosphere, which is a thick blanket covering the earth. The structure goes like this. Closest to the earth is troposphere. Then we have, after that is the stratosphere. And after that the mesosphere, then thermosphere and exosphere. Now, the distance of these, the thickness of these spheres or the layers of atmosphere is not well defined. But the estimate has been given that troposphere is from the sea level to the next stratosphere. It is 7 to 16 kilometers. And stratosphere from the sea level, it is 50 kilometers. And so it goes like that. Now, the importance of these spheres will be explained to you too, reminding you that this was done earlier, but sound system I believe wasn't too good, so I'm doing it all over again, and then I'll catch up with chapter 3. Now, going by atmosphere, what I would like you to know about the atmosphere. Atmosphere is air, and the air is a mixture of gases. Now, those gases, what are the percentage of different gases that are present in the air will be explained too. Now, going back to air, air has weight, air has moisture, air helps us to breathe. If we had no air, there would have been no life. So, this is all related to atmosphere. Now, so again, what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is a blanket of air surrounding the earth. A thick blanket, the thick blanket of air has different layers, and these are the structures of the atmosphere, which layer is the first layer to our earth, then the second one and the third one and the fourth one, and it goes like that. All these layers are playing a very important role for us in our lives. The atmosphere actually, most importantly, is protecting us from the direct rays of the sun. So direct rays, had we not had the atmosphere, it would have been extremely cold or extremely hot. So the atmosphere is a blanket protecting us from the extreme climate. So going by the composition of the atmosphere, the composition of the atmosphere goes like this. It has 78% of nitrogen, oxygen 21%, and the other percentage of 1% is carbon dioxide, ozone, and the helium. All that make up to 1%. So the nitrogen is having the most highest percentage, that is 78, and now oxygen 2. Now going back to how the Earth was, the Earth our planet was a beautiful planet, and there was a balance between nature and man-made phenomena. But when that balance was lost, then our atmosphere started getting heated up and causing a global warming and changing the whole pattern of our beautiful planet. Our Earth receives the sun's radiation with the air as a blanket. Now what is happening is the air, our atmosphere, receives and maintains the warmth of the Earth. So by the time, in the daytime, at the time the day is over and night begins, our Earth is still warm and it's balancing with nature, helping us from not receiving the extreme cold. So, going back to the atmosphere, the lowest layer of the atmosphere, troposphere, is the most dense layer. Why? Because it is having water vapor, oxygen, and dust particles. Now, the atmosphere is drawn to the Earth by the gravitational pull of the Earth, and that keeps our atmosphere intact, in place. The troposphere, we have seasonal change. Here we have all the phenomena that help in weather formation. After that we have stratosphere. Now I would like you to register at least two very important points about each of these layers of atmosphere, because it's going to be very, very beneficial for you. So, stratosphere has the ozone layer, and the ozone layer, ozone plays a very important role in protecting us from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. We have the mesosphere.